Simple tips to make a narcissistic person respect you. I frequently hear people call the narcissistic person they are having problems with their narc or narcissist. Here is the recommendation I have for you. Stop calling them your narcissist and my narc if you are serious about regaining your power, and here's why. We don't want to claim the narcissist as our own, not even verbally, as a free, powerful, and highly empathic human being. First and foremost, regardless of how deeply unconscious and dependent they are on you, both of you and they are sovereign human beings. Second, pay attention to the energetics of what is happening and what you are claiming. What you speak into existence matters. Do you really want to claim the narcissist and their energy as your own? Do you really want to continue to identify yourself with the narcissist and their low vibrational frequency on any level, even just energetically? Because the truth is that as soon as you claim something or someone as your own, you take on that energy and frequency. You identify with that thing or person and the frequency, energy, or vibration they are sending out. Therefore, be mindful of anything that you assume ownership of. Words have creative power and are important in order to affirm who we are becoming, what we are choosing to embody, and what we are consciously co-creating for ourselves. We use the statement I am when we are working to reprogram our subconscious minds. So take possession to the desirable items. Create those by using your voice. A powerful way to handle this in the moment is to simply say something along the lines of, you don't have to put me down in order to feel better about yourself. They treat you disrespectfully in a perverse and bizarre attempt to validate their false sense of superiority. Nothing else was said after that, just silence. Don't back down. Let the message sink in. Here are 8 ways to gain the narcissist's respect after that. Own your frequency first and foremost. Own your vibrational frequency and take ownership of it. Since everything is energy, everything depends on the energy you carry. You, my friend, are going to be a narcissist launch if you calibrate at a frequency that screams uncertain, insecure, needy, afraid, and hungry for love, validation, acceptance, and approval. It is obvious that you don't need the narcissist if you, on the other hand, exude the frequency of calmness, grounding, self-assuredness, confidence, and the capacity to accept, validate, approve, and respect yourself regardless of what anyone else thinks. I promise that once you arrive there, the entire dynamic of the game changes. Hold your cards close to your chest. Number 2. Watch out if they realize you are watching them. You'll be a target. You'll do much better if you can keep that to yourself while you plan your escape. Now that's a hard one, especially for those of us who are highly empathic, because when we try or feel compelled to be phony, inauthentic, misaligned, or incongruent, it's usually because of our own unresolved codependency issues, and as a result, we pay a very high price. For instance, when we live inconsistently, untruthfully, and against our soul's truth, we experience stress that leads to struggles with anxiety and ultimately some type of addictive compulsive behavior. Living a peaceful, joyful, and healthy life requires being authentic and true to our core values. Play the game if it isn't in your best interest to do so in the short term, but don't delude yourself into thinking you can continue doing this over the long term. Your soul won't be content if you choose that path, and you will pay dearly for it. Be bulletproof is the third thing. A narcissist will have some respect for anything or anyone that they believe has the potential to raise their social status or gain them some recognition, even if only through osmosis. And for this reason alone, they constantly name drop and extol their virtues. Unless and until their pathological envy is triggered, of course, the narcissist enjoys being aligned with anyone who presents with a superior image or status. But don't be deceived. Dealing with a destructive narcissist can be very difficult without using this tactic. Please let me know in the comment section below if you like this suggestion so far. Next is create self-agency is the fifth thing to do. Self-agency is now understood as the ability for people to act independently and of their own free will, making their own decision without being influenced or controlled by others. In other words, trust yourself, understand your thoughts, and act accordingly. And because they have strong boundaries and live in accordance with their personal integrity, people who have this kind of faulty self-esteem are less susceptible to emotional manipulators, toxic bullies, and other kinds of predators. Additionally, by drawing this line in the sand, you stop supporting narcissists and their destructive attitudes and behavior. While initially they won't appreciate it, they will come to respect you for it. Also, they will rather lie than admit it. They will respect you not less for not making yourself an easy target and remaining motionless while you put up with their bullshit. Be boundaried is the sixth tip. Both emotionally and physically keep your distance. Don't divulge information. Share actively. Try to form a bond with them. Expose yourself or provide them with any tools they can use against you in the future. Always keep it simple when dealing with these people, and never ever let your guard down. Limited engagement is number 7. Low dosage, little contact, and ultimately, if it's required and appropriate, completely no contact. Prepare yourself to politely end conversation, particularly when it's obvious that you are not being heard or the narcissist is purposefully misrepresenting you and your intention. If you must pause in the middle of a talk, do so. It's time to stop talking when everything you say is misunderstood, discounted, or ignored, while everything you are not really thinking, feeling, or saying is assumed and sold as a commodity. If you ever find yourself having one of these illogical, pointless conversations, just stop, rewind if necessary, and walk away. It's acceptable for you to look after yourself by giving them only a small amount of access. You are not required to answer the phone when they call, respond to every email or text message, open your door when they knock, or take part in a meeting simply because they called it. A classic example of this is calling a meeting, which is frequently done under the pretense of working things out or talking them through, but is actually more likely to result in a vampire fest where you will be forced to defend yourself while also having your life force energy drained from you. Never go there. Additionally, it's likely that you will take the blame for everything that happens. You'll be held responsible for everything. It will take you 3 days to recover from the experience. And at the very least, you will feel like your brain has been turned into scrambled eggs when you leave. So once more, just avoid going there. Say, no thanks, and continue living your life without the extra nonsense and lunacy.